And I'm just being told right now, the run is about to begin. Everyone, please give a fast as first warm welcome to the one, the only, Vane, running Sonic Project 06, Silver, any percent. Take it away.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Vin. I opened up this event yesterday morning. It was a long time ago, I get if you don't remember. But we're playing Sonic Project 06 as a from the ground up remake of the original Sonic 06. If you've seen Silver's gameplay in the original, and if you haven't seen how he plays in this, have fun. But with that, I'd like to introduce my commentators here, who know a lot more about the game than me, just being real.
Hello, I'm Stella98. I've played this game a couple times.
I'm Reverie. I've also played this game a couple times.
Yo, huge!
Wow, so much in common. First off, though, a little bit of funny. We're gonna get a spin effect chosen here by this thing. Hey Siri, pick a number 1 to 4. Bad news. Okay, default counts as 1, so.
Is it?
Oh no! This is rigged. I didn't hear Siri's voice.
I didn't hear Siri either.
I'm sorry.
What? Oh my gosh!
I wish I could have made that up. We were talking about this in setup. I would do no such thing.
How do I get out of here? Is it? Where's the door? Where's the door?
All right, let's stop stalling. We're gonna get started on these missions here.
Just to let everyone know, just to give a heads up, that we have reached our bonus game of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 with a 42 donation from Shovel Claws. They said, wah, 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 wah. Thank you very much. And that means we are $20 away. If I just read that right, $20 away from reaching 6K. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Gonna get started here on the mission press in 3, 2, 1, go.
So, if you have not seen Sonic Project 06 before, as Vane was mentioning, there are a lot of new things. This is a from-the-ground-up remake in the 2019 Unity engine by a bunch of awesome people in the Sonic fan community, including the one, the only, Chaos X as the lead developer. Seeing a really cool custom cutscene made in the intro to the nighttime Crisis City. Silver controls a little bit differently than you would maybe be used to in an adventure-style game. He doesn't have a homing attack, he doesn't have a spin dash, but instead has this teleport dash that we're seeing right now. He also has a slower variant of the hover, which both use up the action gauge. The action gauge is that bar in the bottom right that serves as the mana meter for Project 06, and pretty much all of Silver's abilities use the action gauge. So Vane's going to have to be very careful throughout the entire run to make sure he has the exact amount that he needs or extra, or else it's not going to be good for us, considering how many bottomless pits we're going to be flying over. But as we head into Section 2, we'll have to talk more about Silver later, because one of the iconic features of Sonic Project 06, and of course the original game as well, is switching characters mid-stage, and one of the amigos we're going to be seeing in this run is Blaze the Cat.
Blaze's moveset is a lot more akin to what you would imagine a Sonic character to have. She has a homing attack, she kind of has a spin dash, she has a bunch of combat, and she has a double jump. The most important of which is her homing attack, which allows you to greatly speed up her movement on the ground by just spamming it. She'll do this dolphin dive, and it is much faster than her walking.
Such a fun moveset. I am such a fan of Blaze. And
we are
think she gets
now
criminally underused. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're totally good. Okay, so we are zooming into Section 3 here of Crisis City, which, fun fact, is actually the same section as the first section we went through. I know I said section a lot, but the game is divided kind of like Sonic Adventure, which we just saw, into multiple sections, and they're all like separated by a loading screen. And for Silver here, because in the original game he was so much slower, he only it was really easy to get a lot of mileage out of very small parts of the stages. And you're going to be seeing that a lot in our next stage, Tropical Jungle, which also has a really awesome opening cutscene and is set at sunrise, which will be a lot more important later. But some of the time of days were shifted around for some of the stages, and they look absolutely beautiful. This cutscene was also Chaos was aided by Sonic Pox, who is an awesome 3D animator, created that, and man, it just looks so good. But in Tropical Jungle here, we're going to be seeing a uplift. So if Silver is standing on an object, he is able to channel his psychokinesis into it, raise it into the air for the cost of the action gauge, which Vayne can then use to jump off and teleport dash on over. Just like this, Tropical Jungle actually has a lot of level design on the bottom route, but especially in Project 06's case, the teleport dash is just so good, we can just basically fly over everything here. As we jump on this log, gonna see our first bit of combat here with Silver. What he used there was the Psycho Smash, stuns every enemy, and then he can grab the enemies with his Psychokinesis and crush them in order to defeat them in one hit, which is very nice. Vayne absolutely killing it. 41 seconds in Tropical Jungle.
Yeah, that's
not
pretty
even
nice.
a full minute. And that's not the only stage that's going to be under a minute in this run either. No pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on into Dusty Desert here, probably the most infamous of all of the stages in Sonic 06. I'd maybe even say one of the most infamous stages in the entire series. And the main culprit is the billiard balls that we're going to be seeing falling down the tube here. The billiard balls were made a lot nicer in Project 06, where one, they don't have a global countdown timer. The number only counts down when you hit them. Silver's Psychokinesis, Psycho Smash here also, it just works a lot better than it did in the original game, and they can't accidentally take damage from other sources or things like that. So really easy completing that first billiard room, no problem. Grabbing a gauge up capsule right there, which no matter the predicament will refill our action gauge, and then switching over to our next amigo, Amy Rose.
So Amy, much like Blaze, controls fairly similarly to her Sonic Adventure counterpart. You've got the hammer flip, as you can see right there. We've got the hammer twirl. She has a double jump, which means which complements her hammer jump quite nicely because it's a lot more horizontal in this game. And unfortunately, this is the only time she's playable in the game. A character that went from very, very unanimously hated in the original is now like. Well, I don't want to say with a few minor tweaks, because they are pretty major, but with just a few tweaks, went from, like, unequivocally the worst character in the game to people want to see more of her. Like, a lot more.
Yeah, and thankfully, we are in the Silver Release 1.4 of Project 06, which contains all of Sonic, Shadows, and Silver's main stages. But there is one more coming, the last release, that's going to contain the End of the World final stage and all the boss fights as well. So not only is there a bunch of content that you can get in this game already for absolutely free, but there's also more down the pipeline, which is crazy. And I can't think of a better deal than that. Let's go ahead and switch back over to Silver here, activating the rune. Activating these runes once again. We're going to be using them throughout the run in order to open doors or manipulate larger objects. And we're seeing some more combat here with that Psycho Shock to stun enemies. And we also activated another ability called ESP mode. But before we talk about that, since we're going to be seeing more on the run, I think Rev would love to talk about the ball puzzle here.
Do you? So the ball puzzle, again, much like Amy, is one of those things that was very, very unanimously hated in 06. Even if you've never played a Sonic game before, there's a decent chance you know about this. And unlike with Amy, all that was required to make this from something that was so insanely frustrating to so many people is just a few minor changes. One, the layout of the room has been changed so that there are walls covering the gaps in the middle, so it's a lot harder to accidentally get the ball in those pits. And second, you can stop the ball with Psychokinesis, and those are the only two changes that were made to the ball puzzle, and now it's like a non-issue entirely.
Yeah, Dusty Desert went from being awful to actually being pretty fun in the remake here.
Yeah, it's one of the best stages of the game, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
There's just so much
good.
happening, and all of it is good.
Very true. Jumping into White Acropolis, this is probably one of the simplest stages in Silver's story. We begin the first section here as Blaze, seeing a lot more of that Fire Claw movement that Rev mentions, and also seeing a bit of the Fire Tornado as well. I think that's what it's called, or maybe it's called Spinning Tornado. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The spinning Tornado just allows you to do damage while maintaining your ground speed, really, rather than using the Fire Claw, which has its own set speed in the air. Thankfully, the Fire Claw is basically the fastest form of movement with Blaze, and in combination with her Accelerator Tornado, which is just her double jump, she can actually get a triple jump if Vayne staggers an Accelerator Tornado with a Fire Claw into another Accelerator Tornado, which is pretty nice. Very aerial character. Zooming over into Section 2 here, there's not a whole lot to talk about, but I think Rev likes talking about rock slope jumps.
So a mechanic that the original game kind of had, but it was very, very limited, is slope jumps, and they are like absurdly good in this game. There's
Let me just go back up here.
Vayne showcasing a secret area here. A secret area as they hop back up. Badnik bounce. Love to see it. Nice claw grip.
That camera angle is so weird for me. I mess that up like so often.
Both slope jumps and Badnik bounces were both not present in the original game, but in this game, in this version especially, they are honestly a bit overtuned. They're so good.
Slope jumps are incredibly fun, and ironically enough, both the Badnik bounce and slope jumps are the most beneficial in Silver's story, despite having different gameplay than maybe you'd expect from an adventure game, which is really cool, honestly. And if you're wondering, if you download Project 06 yourself and decide to play it, which you totally should, you can just do it off of Chaos X's YouTube channel. There is a power-up. There are 3 power-ups, actually, that Silver can get throughout his story. The first one being the Lotus of Resilience, you can find in Dusty Desert. This is what allows Vayne to spin jump with Silver and do those Badnik bounces, as well as a teleport dash for the entire length of the action gauge. By default, Silver only goes a set distance, but it really increases his flexibility when it comes to runs like this. Another thing that increases his flexibility is the Sigil of Awakening. So that's the S rank reward for Silver's campaign. Each of the main hedgehogs has a special S rank item they can pick up. The Sigil unlocks ESP mode, which the bar below the action gauge, you can see it has a little white tick mark about a third of the way up it. When Vayne defeats enemies, they will drop these energy cores. They're blue or yellow, but regardless of the color, they do the same thing. Not only do they fill up the action gauge just a little bit, but they also fill up that bottom bar, and you'll see it'll turn red in the next stage. When it's up a third of the way, you can activate ESP mode, which does a huge blast, destroys enemies for a bunch of damage, and it also does a bunch of other things. But the main thing is giving a 35% discount to your action gauge cost. So basically, you have a third more meter than you would normally, allowing us to do these crazy long teleport dashes. As we jump into Aquatic Base here.
Yeah, we're getting kind of into the gauntlet of stages here. These last few stages are really rough. So I've already been pretty quiet, but I'm gonna like extra lock in a little bit because there's
go for it.
Well, you can mess up.
Lucky for you, Rev and I love talking, as you can tell. So.
It's true.
Anyway, we see Shadow there for a quick cameo, has more of the regular adventure gameplay that you see. And Vayne mentioned that this is kind of the gauntlet. So it took us about 10 minutes to get here. We are going to be spending the next 10 minutes in these 3 stages, Aquatic Base, Kingdom Valley, and Flame Core, because for some reason, just randomly, the difficulty and stage length just ramps up super, super high for the latter half of Silver's story.
For what it's worth, it's also like that in the original game. These stages are just super hard no matter how you play them.
Very true. Another upgrade that Silver can obtain in this stage in particular is the Flame of Control, which you've seen Vayne use it a couple times, but it allows Silver to use the Psychic Knife, and I'll point it out when Vayne uses it again. But the Psychic Knife is directly inspired from the Generations boss fight, allows you to... Silver also has another move you can use by just pressing the B button if you're using an Xbox controller, called the Psychic Shot, that's based off of his first encounter with Sonic in that cutscene. And that's just a small homing projectile that can stun enemies and do a little bit of damage too if they're already stunned. But the Psychic Knife is much better in that it just slices through enemies and it does a bunch of damage. Pretty much one-shotting every enemy in the game, other than the purple variant of the Golem that we see right in front of Vayne here. Well, that's the red variant, but there's also a purple variant. Heading into Section 2, seeing that Psychic Knife right there, trying to get a few enemies, and that is why meter management is incredibly important. The run, because the run is so short, it has been optimized so well that we basically have the exact amount of meter we need. So, very difficult stuff, and Vayne is still putting on an incredible showcase regardless. I mean, first death in aquatic base, like, come on. I'd still be in Crisis City at this point, but...
It's honestly super terrifying to watch people run this category because they have, like, in their minds, just like inherently, the exact amount of meter you need to teleport dash across pretty much every gap that you think they're gonna miss every time, but they don't.
Yeah. It's incredible. Thankfully, while incredibly dangerous, it's also incredibly consistent. You know exactly how far you're going to teleport dash with how much meter you have with silver. So a big part of learning this category is just learning, like, okay, can I make this? And you look at your meter and be like,
ambiguity.
Yeah.
It still scares me too. Don't worry.
Going on into Kingdom Valley here, we're going to see our final, well, sort of final, but our final intro cutscene as Silver and Sonic say hello. And Sonic really gets his fastest thing alive moniker here as he...
Goodbye forever.
He's just gone. But anyway, Kingdom Valley, incredibly dangerous stage. If you thought Aquatic Base was dangerous, well, you haven't seen anything yet. And putting the pressure on here, but you got it. Is that we are going to be going around the left side of pretty much this entire moat area here, I want to say. And the game wants you to go around the right side. And all of the checkpoints and everything are on that right side. But thankfully, Vayne is just so good at this game that we are going to be seeing one of the most dangerous teleport dashes in the entire game. Another cool thing in Project 06, as you've seen, is that the teleport dash is mobile. So we're going to use a psychic knife, defeat some enemies behind that gate, the teleport dash is a little faster than the energy cores, using those energy cores to refill the meter just a little bit in order to make it all the way to that platform. Beautifully done. All the way over. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. All the way to the Eagle.
That was so close. I know you could jump up there. And
had collision.
I couldn't decide if I needed it or not. So very nice there.
Just a little scare. It's all planned. It's all intentional. As we head into section 2 and switch over to Sonic.
Are we okay to read some donations out?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So just to let everyone know that we have reached $6,000.
Woo!
And we also have a few bid wars, a couple of bid wars and a incentive out now. We have the Tunic Fox Color Palette bid war. We have the Sound Vortex Exceed Gear Undertale Sound bid war. And then from Sound Vortex Exceed Gear, Gravity Wars Boss Rush. So for the donations, Rex Drinks Red Bull coming in with $5. Says, first time watcher and donator here. Let's make that Fox non-binary. We then have Neil C coming in with $25 saying, I spy Sound Vortex incentives. Ruffy coming in with $25 saying, Trans Pride Fox for Trans Lifeline. Good luck, Silent. And then JD Puppy coming in with $10. And they say, I just saw a headshot go. I'm going $10 mode and take out $10. Oh, here's $10. Froggy.
I'm so glad the $10 mode bid is still alive.
Beautiful.
There we go. All right.
Very nice. So that was Castle Skip. We didn't talk much about Sonic because this is his only appearance in this story. You're going to have to pay for the DLC, of course, if you want to see him more often. But he has unique abilities called the gems, whichever one's equips to his shoes gives him a different augment. You saw the blue gem and the purple gem. Blue gem gives you a burst of speed. Purple gem allows you to have extra jumps, which instead of taking the automation, just allows you to bypass the castle altogether, thus called Castle Skip. Switching back to Silver here, we're grabbing the Eagle one more time, showing his patriotism to the United States of America.
Yes!
And we are going to be doing one final ESP blast. Fantastic showcase there of that activation, and that completes the stage.
Yeah, Castle Skip is a super, pretty precise set of movements there, and there's a lot that can go wrong there. So, second try we can take for sure.
Very much so, and it's there's no going back once you're set. So, Very
Like, mistakes in this category are just so punishing because there's no
Yeah.
checkpoints anywhere.
very few and far between. But
And
now,
even if you do get to a checkpoint, you don't respawn with all of your meter, so you're losing even more time because you have to wait for it to refill.
yeah, because probably a pretty important thing that we didn't mention is that the action gauge only refills for Silver while he's on the ground. So obviously that's why you can't like stutter step hovering in the air. I mean, you still can, but you don't regain meter by doing so. So that's why the meter management's even more important than was maybe initially led on to be. So now we are in the final full-length stage of Silver's story, Flame Core, which has some of the most awkward combat in the game. This first combat plateau is probably just the roughest part of his run, just because we don't have a simple homing attack, we don't have a spin dash, no easy way to defeat these enemies, so we have to use a combination of all of the techniques we've seen up until this point, throwing boxes at enemies, using the Psychic Knife, as well as just some Badnik bouncing, which we're seeing right here to get up to this top path quickly, grab some invincibility, and the invincibility is going to allow us to walk on, or I guess hover on top of this lava unencumbered. And thankfully, the music is properly synchronized with the effect and its properties now. Instead of what was it? I think it was like you had invincibility for like 5 extra seconds after
It's
the
like
music
6
was over.
seconds after the music ends
Yeah.
in retail, yeah.
Thankfully, the second combat plateau, much easier. You just ESP blast the first wave and then use the Psychic Knife to own the second wave. So
I know you looked around like, oh.
There's the other grunt that I was trying to throw that box at just wasn't there. Like he already died.
I think
so
he just spawned in and died.
he vanished.
yeah, there is friendly fire.
Yes.
As well as sometimes the objects can behave a bit strangely in the game. It adds to the charm, I think.
Of course.
As we,
I've definitely seen one of those crawlers try to use their fire breath on me, only to instantly hit an exploding box and kill everything around it.
no remorse for each other despite being on the same team. Heading into section 2, I think Rev, I think it's been like what 5 minutes since you've said anything. So
What do you mean?
let's go
bro?
ahead. Do you want to explain the rune canceling that's going to be happening here?
So a major thing in this section, mostly because the doors open by going down instead of by going up, unlike what they did in Dusty, is something major we can do is cancel the rune activation by doing really anything. Like the most common is stun slapping, but you can also jump, you can do a quick hover. You can do pretty much anything, but it allows us to squeeze through these doors early because we have the opportunity to jump through them early, and it allows us to get a 0 cycle on that platform earlier.
Good explanation. That was good. Activating ESP mode for one final time here as we enter the room with the, what was it?
The massive puff.
The massive puff. So in
The
section
big
1 of
one.
Flame Core, there are these meteors that rain down from the sky in random patterns, which means sometimes they can hit you because they have a hitbox. So we call those Cocoa Puffs, but this is the massive puff as we get this cool cutscene of Silver destroying it up top. It's sort of a faux boss battle. It just sends out some shockwaves that are easily dodged by hiding behind the rocks. But now that that is done, we are just going to be teleport dashing our way to the goal ring. And with that, almost completes the run, but we do have one more stage. All 3 of the campaigns in Project 06 also feature an extra stage where we go through a smaller section of a stage with a Amigo character. And in Silver's case, it's Blaze going through Wave Ocean. Now, if you're an astute viewer, which I know you all are, you might have remembered that I mentioned Tropical Jungle was at sunrise. The Tropical Jungle, Silver, and Wave Ocean Blaze take place at the same time. Thus, we get a beautiful sunrise for the backdrop of this stage, and it's incredible. We go through Wave Ocean 4 times in this game, and to separate it, each one, well, other than Tails Wave Ocean, I guess, is set at a different time, and my goodness, it looks gorgeous.
I feel like Wave Ocean Tales might be slightly different. Like, it's still in the day, but like,
Yeah,
it's maybe at 3
maybe.
p.m. instead of noon, you know?
But Blaze Wave Ocean here it's super fun to do. Again, Blaze, just an incredibly aerial character with the ability to triple jump, as well as that Fire Claw just lunging her forward. And funnily enough, her run speed is actually the same speed as the Fire Claw. However, obviously being in the air a lot of times is better than being on the ground. As we go ahead and just avoid that guillotine there, even though, well, I guess, I don't know if stationary ones are called guillotines, but that's what they're called in Sonic Adventure as well. The ones that like follow Sonic and Emerald Coast, but running away from the whales here, going through a good amount of automation, and in the original game, this would be the end of the run. Vayne would take this automation here and then just go to the left on this boardwalk. But in Project 06, there's actually some additional level design for this stage, and it's pretty cool. There's little shortcuts that you can find, like that spring in the box there, and also use some of Blaze's acrobatics in order to just fly all the way across the ocean, get a goofy little slope jump off of that slanted collision, nice little badnik bounce, and time.
Came up a little quick there, but that was pretty good.
Great job. Yeah, that was a fantastic showcase. I love it.
And speedrun. That too.
Yo, PB.
On the wave ocean there. Not bad.
Huge.
Incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
What was the timing there? Just out of curiosity for RTA.
2307.
2307, we will take that.
We take those.
All right.
Fantastic.
Show off the credit too.
Yes, please do. Well, thank you all so much for being a part of this and for Vayne showing off the Sonic Project 06 Silver Any Percent run. For everyone that wants to catch up, know where you are, socials, your streams, where can they find all of you?
All right, you can find me at twitch.tv/Vayne_SR. On Twitter, it's the same thing. I also have a Blue Sky, that's just VayneSR. Usually stream 3D platformers and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to get into speedrunning this game, specifically this category, there's a wonderful tutorial by... it is Gordon Ramsay, right?
The tutorial? It is Gordon.
Okay, just making sure I have that right. Very informative. I'm kind of nothing without it. But this category is super fun. I would highly, highly recommend it. And yeah, if you guys want to do yours.
Ref,
I'm gonna let you shill first, bro.
Oh, I have to shill first. All right, well, I'm Stumble98, and I play Sonic X Shadow Generations.
No.
Most people know me for Project 06. Right now, I'm having a lot of fun with the new game, but you can just find me. Type in Stumble98, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all that. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on.
I very occasionally stream at twitch.tv/ReverySR at 1 in the morning. If you are awake at that time, I might be live. Probably not. Bet on no, but that's where I stream.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, that'll be it from us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please give all your love and support to Vayne, who ran Sonic Project 06 Silver Any Percent run. We are thrilled to once again partner with Timberwolf Trading to bring our Fall Fest 2024 marathon shirts to you! You wonderful, wonderful beings. Yes, you watching this right now. You think I'm not talking to you? I'm talking to you. Hello, hi. Use the command !merch in chat to browse our new Fall Fest 2024 designs from Sky Blue Arts, Flux, who we'll be seeing in just a little bit with an art showcase, Road Tim, Fizzy J, and Autumn Waven. $5 each from each purchase will be donated directly to Trans Lifeline. They will only be available until the end of the event, so don't miss out on your chance to pick up one today. You can also check out the entire Timberwolf Trading store online at www.timberwolftrading.ca, where you can order your own custom stickers, shirts, laser engravings, and more from this furry-owned business. And as I just mentioned, that we'll be, we'll be seeing Flux in just a little bit because we got the art showcase. It's going to be Skater PB. How fitting for that, because the next one we're going to be having is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So this is absolutely amazing to see Flux's amazing art. Just taking a drawing PB in all Tony Hawk style. Okay, I've just been told that we're just dealing with some little bit of technical difficulties at the moment, so we won't be able to show you the art showcase right now. We're just going to be, tweaking a little things, putting in some code. You know what it is when it comes to working in tech. Mind you, can we give a big shout out to all the tech staff running behind the scenes that are making this possible? Without them, we wouldn't be having an event. So thank you all to the tech staff for helping out making this incredible event. And as we're just getting set up right here, right now, just to let you know that the bonus game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, is going to be happening very, very soon. Followed then by Tunic, which is going to be the 100% NMG. That's going to be run by Silent SR. Partyman X is going to be doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So get ready for those two awesome runs right there. And just to let you all know that we are happy to share that we will be returning to Furry Weekend Atlanta in 2025. If you're going, we'd love to see you there. It's going to be for another in-person speedrunning event, and we would love to see you there on the weekend. FWA 2025 will take place in Atlanta, Georgia, from May 8th to the 11th, 2025. You can register today to take advantage of the early bird pricing as well as browse hotels and other travel options. Use the command !FWA for a link to the event site or visit www.furryweekend.com. Okay, so I think I've been told that we are all set to show you the showcase, the art showcase. It's going to be Skater PB made by the awesome Flux. So this is going to be perfect to get ourselves ready to pop some ollies, do some kickflips, and pull off some epic McTwists for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Don't think I missed that. I saw some cool Spyro art action going on. He did, in fact, skate. This is all relevant. We're having a good time. We're getting ready for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Can I get some hype in chat? Woo! Hello, everybody. This is Sonic Mega. I am going to be your host for the next couple of games, but first, I want you to know that you are watching Fastest Furs Fall Festival 2024 supporting Trans Lifeline. What is that, you may ask? Well, we are proud to be raising money for Trans Lifeline for the 5th consecutive year. Founded in 2014, Trans Lifeline is a crisis and peer support hotline run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. Calls to Trans Lifeline are fully anonymous, confidential, and use informed consent when connecting to resources outside of the hotline. Operating in both the US and Canada, Trans Lifeline needs our help to meet the ongoing demand for their services, and we hope you consider joining us in supporting their life-saving work by using the command !donate in chat. For more information, please visit www.translifeline.org. Now, we do have !donate, but there is all kinds of ! commands you can put in. You know those games where you like put in something and the game responds and sends you something catering to your request? You can put in !blue sky to get linked to the fastest first Blue Sky account. !incentives to look at our current incentives page. !FWA to learn about attending FWA 2025. !trans rights, because why wouldn't you put trans rights? Those are human rights too. And probably my favorite, prizes. Because let me talk about these prizes, you guys. Or you all, my apologies. So this weekend, each day, there is separate prizes available that you can be entered into if you donate $25 or more. But really, what you should be doing is donating a total of $50 or more, because we have Thursday, we have Friday, and then we have Saturday and Sunday. Each of these 3 segments has its own grand prize that you can win if you donate $50 or more during that specific day. For today, Friday, for general prizes, $25 gets you entered in to win furry merch enamel pins, rainbow furry pride flag, custom 3D avatar commission, an art print in a folder, a Sonic 3 characters diamond pixel painting trio, and if you manage to donate $50 or more today, on Friday, you could win a giant Balatro Cavendish Perler donated by the Scuba Pup. Let me put it this way. We could not find a banana for scale to show the size of this prize because the Perler itself is a giant banana. That is what it is. You can go to the prize page right now and look at it, and that is what you're using for scale now. When you say, here is banana for scale, you're going to take out this Perler that you won because you donated $50 and you were the lucky winner who got picked, and they're going to go, wow, that's very small compared to that banana. Thank you for providing that giant banana Perler for scale. That is what you should be doing. But in addition, helping support Trans Lifeline, helping support this invaluable resource. But for the next 4 games, I have the distinct honor of being able to read your donation live on stream. And what a lineup we have. We've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 being run by Partyman X, all goals and golds. We've got Tunic. They always put a typo here. I'm pretty sure it's Tunk, but Tunic, 100% no major glitches by Silent SR. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which I also call as Ori and the Unreasonable Amount of Feels That I Have right at this moment by Flap, and Adventure of Rika the Cursed Kingdom by Vanny Van. I'm honestly going to call this the exploration block because all of these games involve, going to different places, finding all these cool things, collecting them. It's going all over the place. It's going to be an incredible, incredible time. So I hope that you will get those donations in. I would love to read them live on air. In fact, we even have incentives to go towards. This is what I mean when I say when you donate, you're not only helping a great cause, but you are contributing to so many things. You could enter yourself in for prizes. You also can contribute to the Tunic Fox Color Palette Bid War that's going on right now. We've got 5 options between Gay Pride, Trans Pride, Non-Binary Pride, Ace Demi Pride, and Pan Pride, and your donations could decide which palette we end up using for the run itself. Coming up later today, we also have Sound Voltex Exceed Gear, which has an Undertale song bid war between Battle Against a True Hero, the finale, Megalovania, and Save the World. Again, your donations could decide which song is played. We also have a $500 incentive open right now for Sound Voltex Exceed Gear to do the Boss Rush. I don't know about you, but I am always a fan of boss rushes. When I used to play Kirby games, I just wanted to get through the main game so I could get to the boss rush and see how quickly I could take down all the bosses from that game. So if you're a fan of boss rushes, definitely get those donations in over the next couple of games and let's make that happen. So while we're waiting for the next game to start up, which, by the way, Partyman is extremely excited, and we were talking backstage and having all kinds of fun about how chaotic it was going to be and how involved we all want you to be. What I want to know is, for those of you who did play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, what was the music track for you that you were listening to or were always excited when it came on? And if you didn't play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, your question is, what is the game that you played nonstop that, like, when people are like, oh my gosh, I put 250 hours into Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, what was your game that you were like, I played this for an unreasonably long amount of time, and I could go back and spend another 100 hours on it easily? That is my question to you right now. So, as a heads up to people waiting as well. Oh, no cigar, because I'm also going to be looking up these songs as well. Because when I knew that Superman was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, I thought it was the "You Still Call Me Superman." It's not that one. It's a different one. But yeah, Rage Against the Machine, amazing. Superman, of course. Well, Rad, you're gonna love this because I wrote lyrics to kick off this run once it's time for us to start. I want everyone to be in the mindset. I want everyone over the age of 30 for just a brief moment to feel like they're half the age they currently are. That is my goal for you today. There are no bad Tony 2s.